change journey. Today we're going to be going over financial goals for the 2024 year, as well as my first paycheck. I'll break down what I do for that and just go over some of my setup as well as debt tracking for this year. So the first goal I have for finances is to set up a debit card for my utilities bank account. So I have different bank accounts at the same bank, and I really want to set up a debit card, but I have to go in person. And I hate going into stores now ever since the pandemic, so I need a debit card because Netflix, the subscription I have, doesn't allow me to just connect my bank account, which most places do nowadays. So I have to go in person to verify it's me and to get the debit card set up. I've tried to do it through the window, but they won't let me. So I have to wake up early on a Saturday and get that done. So that's one of my goals that's related to finances. My next financial goal for this year is to spend the $120 per month that I am taking out of my paycheck and putting onto my healthcare flex spending or FSA debit card. So this is just for health expenses. If you don't know, it's basically money that is not taxed for eligible items. So a lot of my copays for health expenses, which we'll get into when I'm going over my paycheck, fit into this category. So my goal is to basically keep up with my contribution. So I have it set for the whole year of 2024. Per paycheck, I am contributing $60, which turns out to the $120 per month. So I just want to keep up with that so that at the end of the 2024 year, I'm not left with all of this money, because you could only roll over like $500, and if you don't use the money besides the 500 that you can roll over, you lose it. So my next financial goal is to not dip into sinking funds to cover expenses, and this is especially for eating out expenses. I do have sinking funds. You won't really see them in this paycheck, but I do have sinking funds for insurances that I don't pay every single month, but I pay over a 6-month period or a year period. So I just have that money kind of sitting in a separate account, and what I've done in like 2023 and previous years is I found myself just pulling from that money, especially if I want to eat out and I'm just like, oh, well, I have the money in this account. Let me just pull and order something because it's easier, it's more convenient because I have the money. Obviously not a strategy I want to repeat in the 2024 year, so I'm trying to cut back on that. My next goal is to pay off credit card debt. I don't think I'll pay off all of my credit card debt this year, but if I could at least cut it in half, I think that would be major progress. So that is on one of my goals, and we'll see like what that I have moving forward, but I just wanted to highlight that in my goal area. I also want to increase my income, so I work kind of hand in hand with the COO. I know what's upcoming for the business, so I do know that the current place that I work at, we're on a salary increase freeze right now, which is January 2024, but in March, so in 2 months from now, I do know that my boss is planning on giving out raises and salary increases, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm hopeful, obviously. I want it to be, more money than I'm currently making. So my salary currently is 60,000. I live in a very high cost of living state and area, so definitely is a struggle, I'll say. I'm living paycheck to paycheck as well, so that's something that I just want to overcome at this point as I'm stepping into my 30s. I think it's important for me to continue to grow with my income, so that's definitely one of my goals, as well as doing things like this, right? Me and my father always talk about like side hustles and building further income through different strategies. So I'm starting a YouTube channel. I don't really know where it's gonna go. I haven't like laid out any specific YouTube goals for myself yet, but it's just all about trying, right? And taking action on things and seeing where they go. So yeah, that's definitely a goal. Another goal of mine is tracking and decreasing my eating out expenses. So I talked about, not dipping into sinking funds to cover these expenses. But I think what will really help me as I go forward is tracking how much money is going out and going towards eating out expenses specifically. So I think that'll really help me, because once I see the number there, I might be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm spending this much money on eating out. So for me, tracking it is just a tool to hopefully get me to decrease the overall expenses. So that's on my list. And then the last one is to start contributions to a 401k plan. So I never did this at previous jobs, and I know I'm super behind on retirement funding for my age. So in March, I had to wait a whole year at my current job. So in March, I will be eligible to begin contributing. So our company does a 2% match. So I want to get started on doing a 2% contribution and then getting the 2% match as well. So that would be a total of 4%. So that is something I want to start doing for this year in March when I'm eligible. So moving on, it's funny because in my job currently, I do payroll for the company and for the business. And so I just put it as Payroll Calendar because that's kind of how my mind operates now that I'm doing everyone's paycheck, which is like 250 people sometimes. So this past Friday, January 12th, is when we first got paid. There's 26 paychecks in a year. So that is number one. So what we're gonna do is budget that paycheck. I get paid every other Friday, so you can see here that the next paycheck is the 26th, which is 2 Fridays from now. So with that being said, I got paid on the 12th, which is the Friday, and then I have until the 26th to make this money stretch for me. So I've kind of laid out some due dates for my bills that are upcoming within that period from the 12th to the 26th, so that I'm making sure that I am on time with my bill payments. So the first one that we have is my American Express blue credit card. I just divide these up by color. I believe it's like the Skyline Miles credit card, if you wanted to know that. The 15th, we have 2 bills. So the other American Express credit card that I have is the Clear credit card. I think this is like the preferred everyday credit card that they have, as well as my phone bill. Then the next one we have is on the 22nd, which is my internet bill. And lastly, on the 24th is my I just write Chase because it's the credit card that it is, but I actually just signed up through Amazon. So their Amazon card is the Chase card that I have. As you can see, a lot of these bills, like 3 out of the 5. So 3 out of 5 of my bills are credit card bills. Definitely struggling right now when it comes to debt and just repaying that. So I can't wait to like start knocking these out because it really does take up, such a large percentage of my income. So now we are breaking down the paycheck that I got. So we'll start with the income, but this is basically my overall budget. Um, Basically explaining what I'm doing with the paycheck that I get. So my paycheck before everything was $2,307.69. Obviously, I'm never gonna see that money because after taxes, after my insurance deductions, and this isn't even including any 401k contribution, it's just including insurance, and it's also including that FSA contribution that I said was $60 per paycheck. The total amount of my paycheck came out to $1,765. I'm paid salary, so this is basically what I'm going to be probably left with up until March when a salary increase hits. And then I did get my FSA debit card, and I looked just to see the balance of what I have for health purchases and expenses, and my total balance is $1,560 currently. So with that being said, I just added up my paycheck, my net pay, so the $1,765 with the FSA contribution, which was $60, and I got $1,825 to work with. You'll see that I have a little bit more health expenses during this pay period than the $60 contribution towards my FSA. So it's going to be a little bit more than the total income number. But let's get into that. So this is how I'm basically breaking down my paycheck. First things first, my daily account was overdrafted. Don't know really how this happened, but it happened. It was only overdrafted by 7 cents, so it wasn't really a big deal. But I just used the 7 cents to, balance out my my bank account and make it, zero, so it wasn't in the negative at all. And then you'll see my breakdown and allocation. So under the category of home expenses, I have my rent, which I break up into each paycheck. So half of my rent is $726.50, but I had 2 cents in interest, so it comes out to 48 cents here. And I'm actually really ahead of the game because it's the 13th and my rent isn't due until the 31st, but I already have the full amount in my rent bank account. So the next one I have is my phone payment, which is $66.65. Next one I have is my internet bill, which is $81.29. And then I break it down into my transportation expenses. So usually when I go to get gas, I have a place literally right next to where I live. So my place is right next to a gas station. Super convenient. And when I go, I always ask them to fill it up to $35. And if it takes less to fill it up, great, but once a week I usually just say $35 in gas. So I usually budget in $70 for gas for 2 weeks, which is, I get paid bi-weekly, so it covers both weeks, and I'm pretty much good. When it comes to daily living expenses, we have my groceries, and actually in the eating out category, usually I don't budget for eating out, and this probably messes me up quite often, but instead of the eating out category, I actually had laundry for quarters, because in my unit you have to use quarters to use the machine to do laundry, and I usually put $40 in that category. But I go to the bank on Saturdays, and if I don't wake up early enough, which I didn't today, I don't get the quarters that I need to do my laundry. So I use that money tonight to eat out instead, and that cost me $54.06. So I was like over my laundry expense by $14.06. Usually my grocery budget is $200, but since I was over budget on my eating out because I took more than $40, which was supposed to be for laundry, now I'm under for groceries. Hopefully that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind. I'm pretty close to my parents' house, so usually what I can do is just hop over there and do laundry if needed. It's also a way for me to just see my parents and visit them as well. With my groceries amount, that includes household products as well. So it could mean things for laundry, like detergent, could mean dish soap, it could mean also beauty products like deodorant or hair dye. I kind of combine them together, the groceries and the household products. So this is where we're breaking down my health expenses. You can see that these three are going to be going towards my FSA debit card. So again, I'll be using more than the $60 that I contributed this paycheck. But my copay for therapy is $60. My medicine should be around $24.99. Sometimes it's $34.99, but one of my medicines I don't need a refill on because I haven't really been, it's like as needed, so I don't really take it all that often. And then my psychiatrist copay is $35. So I'll probably be putting that all on my FSA debit card. Now for debt payoff with this paycheck in particular, I am paying off the minimum payments for both my American Express cards. So the American Express Blue credit card is $85 minimum payment, and then the Clear credit card is $211 minimum payment. So the one that I'm tackling is the Chase credit card, and I can tell you why in just a second. But with the remaining money that I have left over, I will be putting $284.51 onto my Chase credit card. Now, this is just tracking my FSA for right now because I want to see how much of my balance that I have. That's really what I want to track. So with this month so far, with the therapy, the medicine, and the psychiatrist, it's basically coming right at $120, which is perfect because most likely I won't have a copay for next paycheck in January, and then I'm just keeping track of my remaining balance right there. So this is my debt tracker. This is really what's killing me. if we're being honest. So this is my debt breakdown. I don't have any other debt besides these 4 credit cards. Maybe in a story time I can tell you why I got into this credit card debt. It definitely was a life lesson and a choice that I would not choose again. But I've paid off debt before. I've paid off student loan debt before. I have had credit card debt, never this high, but I've paid that off before. I don't have a car payment. I don't have a mortgage. I don't have any other debt but these 4 credit cards. So my first debt is the one that I signed up through Amazon. That's my Chase credit card, and I'm doing the avalanche method right now. I've done the snowball method in the past as well, and it worked amazing. This time around, I'm doing the avalanche method just because it makes the most sense in my situation. And I'm happy with, that choice that I'm choosing. So the reason why I'm tackling this is mainly because of the APR. The interest rate is 27.24% currently. Minimum monthly payment that I have to pay is $171, and my total balance after the payment of after the payment of $284.51, the Chase credit card will be at $2,028.05. Yes. I literally can't wait till this is paid off. I've been just going at it. You'll see that my current debt to date that I've paid is $2,980.93. And I really tackled this credit card specifically with my bonus that I got last month at my job, like an end of year bonus. So I'm very proud of this right now. Debt 2, debt 3, and debt 4. So my 2 American Express cards and I have an Apple card. They are all on financial assistance programs currently. So I literally called American Express, I called Apple, and I was like, hey, I'm really having trouble paying my monthly minimum payments, as well as the interest rate is way too high for me, so can you help? And they put me on basically financial assistance plans for that. So both my American Express cards are lowered in interest rate right now until October 2024. They're going to stay at 7.99%. The monthly minimum payments are also decreased. So for my Blue card, it's $85. For my Clear card, it's $211. Total balance for the Blue card is $4,933.11. And for my Clear card, it's $10,000. $10,592.27. Oh my goodness. My feet. You guys are gonna laugh. I hope you can't see my toes, but my feet are so they're tingling. What is it that they fell asleep on me? So I'm trying to wake them up. So my Clear is the highest, and I'm saving that for almost the last. I'm just trying not to think about it at this point. Let's be real. And then Apple's awesome, by the way. If you are going to get a credit card, I highly suggest them because they were the most helpful when I called them about the financial assistance program. They literally have me at 0% interest for a whole year, which is such a sigh of relief. And their monthly minimum payment, they really gave me like such a good deal, I feel like. So their monthly minimum right now is $53.61. So if you're going to get a credit card, not that I clearly recommend them, but I would say that Apple was the one who's worked with me the most out of all of these, and I 100% do not recommend Chase at all. I cannot wait to get rid of them because I did ask them for financial assistance and they wouldn't give it to me. So my balance for Apple is $4,739.35. So my total debt balance is $22,292.78. This is down from my highest debt total, which is over here in the chart, which I don't know, there might have been a higher number than this, but I would say it didn't go over 25,000 something. The one that I saw just quickly as I was, going through my expenses, the highest debt total I saw was $25,231.71. So I put that there. Now I said I wanted to do an eating out expense tracker. I don't know if it'll show me the exact amount. Okay, it does. So far for this paycheck, the first paycheck, I did put that one expense that we talked about earlier here. So far we have $54.06, which isn't too bad, I would say. This took me a lot of time to do, so I hope you enjoyed this. I would love to know what your goals are for the new year for 2024, especially related to finances. I know that, and I say this all the time when I'm talking with my father again, but we always say that it's so much easier to lose money than it is to get money, right? So like when we're spending, we don't really like, it's easy to get lost in spending a lot, and it feels at least much harder to get that money back. So hopefully this is helpful if you are struggling. I'm in the same boat as you. Obviously life isn't perfect. I wish I could go back, right, and not make, the choices that I have, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I think it's more about just facing the numbers. I know for a long time I didn't even want to look at this stuff in the face and really even dig in and dive into what was really going on. But at the same time, I think when I saw that number of $25,000 in credit card debt, it actually motivated me as well to want to improve my situation. So it is a catch-20 deal there. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to do some more videos as well, but again, in the comments, definitely tell me what your goals are for the 2024 year, and I look forward to making more videos and hearing from you guys soon. Alright, bye now.